Hey guys, I'm gonna do part two. While I was doing the video, something came up on the news, and I'm gonna show it to you, and then you're gonna compare what just happened to what you've been seeing happening every day. Now, before I do that, I also said before in the last video, I talked about Basel three. Let me just say what it is. So basically, if you just type in Basel three on a search engine, you'll find that they changed gold into a tier one asset. Like, so what does that mean? Well, let's go back to illustration. Let's not talk big banks. Let's talk small, like your credit union. Now, where we're from in Yuma, Arizona, there's a AA Federal Credit Union at the time. They were big on lending money for cars, but because we live so close to the Mexican border, a lot of those cars would go to Mexico. People would go back and forth, but a lot of their losses came from people just leaving to Mexico. So what happens is this: when a small bank or a national bank like the Federal Reserve or even bigger, when a bank has a balance sheet, they go, look, these are what we have. We have so much money in the stock market. We have so much money in bonds. We have so much money in loans, and everything gets categorized. So gold gets categorized as the best, tier one. Nothing better than gold. And it wasn't always like that. So what happens is the apostates were saying, the financial apostates that I told you about, were saying, whoa, 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 this is a game changer. And it is, because Donald Trump told you he's going to monetize that gold. And I'm going to show you in a little bit. Well, you know what? No, I'll show you a little bit. But the point is that if you're a bank, whether AEA, Wells Fargo, or a national bank of Colombia, Mexico, whatever, doesn't matter the bank, and you see the writing is on the wall, you go and you buy, and the news type in central banks are buying gold. All of these banks are buying gold. Why? Because when they get audited after the crash, they say, well, we have all of these loans that are going bad, the 2008 crisis, mortgage loans going bad. But guess what we have over here? We have all of this gold. So it balances out their books and it keeps them from going into default, bankruptcy. So that's why this is so important. Again, dereliction of duty on part of Watchtower, of not teaching you these things. Now, let's go into what's happening with the breaking news. Look at this. Senator Rand Paul calls for Fort Knox gold audit in 50 years. But it's different now. Trump is in president, and he taps Elon Musk, Doge, for verification. Freedom of Information requests show 7 out of 13 previous audits reportedly missing. Missing what? That right there. Senator Rand Paul has called for a long overdue audit of the U.S. gold reserves at Fort Knox, something that hasn't happened in nearly 50 years. The demand comes as concerns grow over whether 4,580 tons of U.S. gold supposedly stored in Fort Knox still exists, or if bureaucrats on the Federal Reserve have been engaging in a financial sleight of hand behind closed doors. Calls for transparency gaining momentum. It would be great if Elon Musk would take a look inside Fort Knox just to make sure the 4,500 tons of gold is there. Surely it's being reviewed every year. No, it's not. So you say, Gilbert, why is this so important? Why is this so important? Because there's a lot of other people talking about where is that gold. So let's say it's not at Fort Knox, but a lot of that gold that came from London went to New York, and who owns the gold in New York way underneath the ground? Well, the Federal Reserve has a lot of gold underneath the ground in New York. Now, if you look at the, again, to the apostates that are talking on YouTube, the Federal Reserve says we own the gold, and the United States Treasury says we own the gold. Well, who owns the gold? Well, if it's not in Fort Knox, it's in somebody else's place. But let's say this is where we are in a war, because let's say Elon Musk, like, you see what's happening. Now the daily news is coming home to roost. The chickens are coming home to roost. If Elon Musk were to go into Fort Knox and comes out and says, America, you've been fucked. I'm sorry for using the F word, but you've been. And what happened is the gold that they say is not only half of it is there. So the first question people are asking is, where is it? And that's where the military comes in, because God, you say, hey, this is ours. And this is where the fight comes in. And this is where now it's a different type of war. It's no longer a war between you and I fighting and killing each other with guns. And now it's a financial war over who has supremacy of the land, the bankers or the elected leaders that we elect. And so then, and here's the thing. Now, I mean, 97% of Americans, God rest, poor are 3% brain dead Americans that will support the banks. Got to feel sorry for them. But 97% of Americans are going to jump on Doge and jump on Trump and say, yeah, where the hell is the stuff, the money, the gold in this audit that is supposed to take place? So so check this out. These are where check this out. Fort Knox, Phoenix. Yeah, we'll never show it. But check this out. This is where I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you this. It's pretty neat. This is where the conspiracy, this is a complete conspiracy. Slides and PDFs. Here it is, Troy Gold. So here's the thing. This is a conspiracy theory that was being floated out there. And this is why the news of today is so important. And I did this with just my computer. On the left-hand side, it says Troy ounces, 261 million gold coins, a gold coin. So when you look at the news, it talks about tons. So you divide the tons, 2,000 pounds per ton, 16 ounces per pound. That'll give you how many coins could be made. So 261 million coins is what the United States government allegedly has, should have way more. And they can turn it into a coin. And each coin right now is only worth $42, but it's trading for over $3,000 on the market. So here's the point. Here's the point. The value is $11 billion. But if you put the gold spot, and everyone is talking about a $20,000 gold spot, where Donald Trump says with his Secretary of Treasury, we're going to monetize gold, the part of our balance sheet, and we now make gold $20,000 an ounce. That means $5 trillion is added to the positive side. And you take away, here's the conspiracy theories. If the Federal Reserve has stolen the money from the United States government, has stolen the gold, then what if Donald Trump, and this is what a lot of people are saying, says, you know what, all of the money that we owe you, all of the treasury bills that are in the hands of the Federal Reserve, all of the treasury bills that King Charles has, and all of the treasury bills that Brussels has, the central bankers, we're going to, classic Trump, we're going to go bankrupt on you guys, default. But it's like when he was, Donald Trump never went bankrupt, but he used the laws of the bankruptcy to say, hey, you guys are liars, you guys are cheaters, we're going to reorganize this thing. So Donald Trump can add $5 trillion to the positive side, get rid of like $15 trillion in bad debt to these central banks, which is $20 trillion. And these are just crazy numbers that are being floated out there on YouTube. And then he can tell Japan and China and everybody else, oh, we're going to make you guys whole. Don't worry. You guys we're going to pay you. We're going to pay you and we're going to pay you. But we're not going to pay you bankers. And it's selective. And Donald Trump has already done this many times where he reorganizes. This is what people don't understand about Donald Trump's bankruptcies. When Donald Trump went bankrupt, declared bankrupt, that he was going to go into bankruptcy, he didn't go, he wasn't bankrupt. He reorganized the debt. So here he has this huge, massive building that he's creating, but there's no cash flow coming in. Say because of weather and other constraints, that the project took a little bit longer to make. So what does that mean? Well, he has to make the monthly payments. So Donald Trump says, no, we're going to reorganize. And then the banks are greedy and they want to steal his property. But Donald Trump, classic Trump, he makes sure that he borrows from people where if he goes under, he takes the whole damn ship down. So he put everybody in financial risk. So he has to be successful. And when he's successful, everybody wins. So that's why Donald Trump, one, didn't go bankrupt. He uses the laws to his advantage. Well, the same thing here. I mean, I'm not educated in this stuff, but it makes common sense that Donald Trump can say, all of you guys are cheaters, you're liars, you're thieves, you even stole our gold. This is what we saw in the news. That's happening right now with let's go back. We're seeing this with the share screen. Senator Rand Paul. They're calling for this. And if Elon Musk finds that the Federal Reserve is even more dirty than all of the agencies, guess who has the upper hand? Donald Trump. And I'm telling you guys, Donald Trump already said it that this thing about the BRICS nation and the dollar hegemony is greater than World War II. I mean, it's greater, it's huge. So you mean to tell me that we're not in the middle of a war? Yes, we are. And the point I'm trying to make is the dereliction of duty on part of the religious leaders that put all of their members in ignorance, keep them in ignorance, and they don't set them up for just surviving what's coming. And what is coming? The greatest transfer of wealth the earth has ever seen. Just complete transfer of wealth. Kind of like when Babylon the Great falls. Babylon the Great falls, and what happens to everything? It all just goes all over the earth. That's what you're seeing here. So to me, it's a Babylon the Great moment. I'm not saying that it is, like from a biblical point of view, but it has all the markings that we're living in the greatest time in modern human history. This is great because the tsunami of debt, the numbers, this is huge. And the stranglehold that these banks have on us, and then to be able to, and where the governing body, the Jehovah's Witnesses, the religious leaders, where they don't educate the people to know that when the government says before Trump that 2% inflation is a target we want to have, what they're saying is we want to steal 2% of your money every year on top of what we're stealing with the IRS. That's what it translates to. But because they don't teach you these things, because they don't teach you this, the religions have kept everybody dumbed down and stupid. Yeah, silver spot price is $42. Ask me how I know. How could a silver be $42 when gold is at 3,000? So at 10%, silver should be at 300, or even 20 to 1. 20 to 1 should be at $150. That means you have a $20 gold coin, a $1 silver coin. So silver should be close to 10 to 1 or 20 to 1. So even at 20 to 1, silver should be at $150 right now. So Donald Trump knows this. The bankers know this. So I believe we're in the middle of a war. We're in the middle of a war, and the religions are derelict of duty in helping its members avoid what's obviously coming. And what's obviously coming? That Elon Musk is going to go into the Federal Reserve, and believe you me, they're going to find things worse than what they found in all of the other departments. So, hey, King of Dots, God shed his great, but yeah, those 3%, man, they can't see, they're not going to be able to see that Donald Trump is fighting the banks. They're going to say, I hate Trump so much. I love the bankers. That's just my personal opinion. But okay, guys, talk to you guys on the next one, and hopefully Jesse will get ready. And like I say, if you want real financial news, like real religious news, don't go to church. Go to YouTube. You'll find the truth. You'll have a better shot at finding the truth there than you will at your church or in Fox News, CNN, or MSNBC. Okay, that's my take, and we'll see you on the next video.